Today, I hope to solve two questions. First, should you buy FIFA 22 at all? And second, if you do buy FIFA 22, what platform should you buy it on? If you aren't quite sure, I highly recommend giving this a watch, and even if you think you've made your decision, I think you'll find this a very intriguing video. And if you stay to the end of the video, you'll get access to a link to buy FIFA 22 with a huge discount. Let's get into it. So I've split this video into three main chapters that are on screen now. First, the changes to FIFA 22 and specifically career mode. As I'm sure you're all aware, a big new feature is create a club. That's kind of the headline feature, I guess. This mode allows you to create your own badge, kit, stadium, and other club details before choosing a team to replace and jumping right in. Now, in my opinion, this mode isn't perfect. I think there's a lack of customization and it doesn't have much replayability, but still this is a huge new feature, credit to EA, and it should add kind of a whole new experience to career mode because you've not been able to do something like this before. Of course, they also really expanded player career mode with the ability to be subbed on from the bench, although we should have had that years ago. New match objectives, manager rating, a whole lot of new cutscenes, a new growth system, and with the kind of a skill tree thing like the Journey had, and many other things. I'm a big fan of these features. I think player career is finally getting its well-deserved overhaul. In terms of standard manager career, there's not too many new things. They did add the ability to customize generic stadiums, which is a huge new feature. But they also refreshed some cutscenes, added a bunch more news stories, I think, and some other smaller tweaks. And these are not perfect features, and I definitely would have liked to see more in the manager career department. That doesn't change the fact that they really did add a lot of great stuff, and I think it will bring career mode to the best it's ever been. In my opinion, all those features might be enough to buy FIFA 22 if you're a big career mode fan, but there's more too. EA have also improved Pro Clubs, Ultimate Team, and Volta, so if you play those modes, you'll get the new features. Volta especially has some really cool new stuff with the introduction of new mini games. So yeah, that's really cool. There's also the new content factor. I think it's really refreshing to play with a new menu and a different soundtrack, not to mention the new added and updated faces, which they added a lot of this year, including Ansu Fati, Greenwood, Chiesa, and many others. Obviously, they updated everything to the 2021-2022 season, including kits, teams, players, leagues, balls, and everything like that. Do you really want to still be playing FIFA 21 with Grealish at Aston Villa, Liverpool with their old kits, and Brentford in the Championship? To my knowledge, there are no FIFA 22 mods for FIFA 21, so you'd be stuck with the old stuff. And if any of those mods are created, they will have a lot of bugs and be missing a ton of details, and they won't be anywhere near FIFA 22 from a quality perspective. But of course, that's only if you can afford it. Not everyone can afford to drop $70 on the new game every year, although the discount at the end of the video could help. It might be wise to wait for a sale or just skip this year's game entirely. But if you can afford it, I think it is a good purchase and you will get value for your money. Next up, an analysis on old gen versus new gen, which will help us answer the question of what platform to buy it on. You probably know that FIFA 22 on PC won't be next gen. You might think that that is a deal breaker, but let's look into it. First of all, what does next gen add? In FIFA 21, it was just slightly improved graphics, like some better lighting, faces look a bit sharper, and the hair movement is a bit nicer, but in my opinion, it almost looks too good, the hair. Like a bit fake. I mean, take a look at this real life video of Messi. He's running around and his hair barely moves. But in next gen, if you take one step with him, his hair is going to be everywhere. I mean, look at some of these side-by-sides. It's not really that noticeable. As B. Monis talks about in his video, an honest review of next-gen FIFA 21, which I highly recommend watching, as it does make some great points. You can notice next-gen graphics if you go into instant replay and zoom into every player's face, but FIFA isn't played in instant replay. It's played like this, where you can't really see much of a difference. Sure, the turf maybe looks a bit different, but it still looks a bit 2D and dull. If you want to get a real turf, the only way is to use the PC version of the game. Next gen also adds, a new camera, which many players have complained about, as well as a few more cutscenes. The gameplay is slightly different, but really not that much has changed. However, in FIFA 22, there is a bit more. Gameplay-wise, there are a few next-gen only features, like hypermotion, kinetic air battles, and player humanization. Now these sound great, but we hear buzzwords like this every year. In FIFA 21, it was player personality and agile dribbling. In FIFA 20, dynamic 1v1s and active touch tackling. In fact, player humanization in FIFA 22 and player personality in FIFA 21 sound really similar, don't they? And thinking about it, would you say any of those features really changed the game? Was there ever a time where you were playing and said, "Thank God for active touch tackling"? I really don't think so. Obviously, Hypermotion is a bit different than those other features, as it supposedly adds a lot more animations to the game, but does it really make that much of a difference? Here's a comparison, one bit of the clip of the FIFA 22 trailer filmed in next gen, and here's another filmed on an unmodded old gen version of FIFA 21. Is there really that big of a difference? You can see the slow-mo here, but it's hard to notice in my opinion. Yes, the turf does look a little bit better, but it still looks a bit 2D, and anyways, the new turf is coming to the PC version as well. It's in next gen and old gen. We can see it here as well. I mean, does the gameplay really look that different? Especially the animations, which is what Hypermotion is all about. To me, it looks very similar. Plus, we have seen a decent portion of FIFA 22 gameplay. Does it really look that different to FIFA 21 gameplay-wise? There are still the same major issues like midfielders not tracking back, which is only fixable on PC with mods. It's worth noting that on PC, we still get the majority of gameplay improvements, including explosive sprint, true ball physics, and new tactics and analysis. We also get improved passing, ball control, dribbling, skill moves, shooting, defensive behavior, and of course, the goalkeeper rewrite, as well as a bunch of other stuff you can see on the screen now. Overall, PC only misses out on a few new gameplay features, none of which seem to be complete game changers. And that's about it. Other than that, it's basically the same game. There are a couple of extra cutscenes here and there, but you still get pretty much all the career mode stuff, including create a club and the player career changes, as well as the stuff for other modes. It's still the same menu, same soundtrack, no extra faces, teams, leagues, anything, no new features to career mode. So yeah, next gen is great, don't get me wrong, but does it really change the game that much? It's not like it's a new engine, it's still using Frostbite. The jump from FIFA 16 to FIFA 17 was huge. I mean, the graphics were completely different, and it made way for new modes like the Journey. But here, maybe not so much. Sure, next gen is better than old gen, but that's before you count in mods. So yeah, if you haven't heard of FIFA mods, boy are you missing out. All that was in an early version of the FIFA 21 mod. In later versions, so much more was added and improved, like hundreds of new banner and flag updates, tons more new and improved player faces, manager faces, and even a bunch more face updates, as well as better tattoos, more changes to the gameplay and the main Realism mod, and even the real Brazilian League with all the players, teams, kits licensed, and a whole new tournament mod. Pretty insane, right? Mods add thousands of new faces, updates hundreds of original EA faces, add and update manager faces, referee faces, but they can also license unlicensed teams, so no more Roma FC and Piemonte Calcio. They also improve career mode in so many ways, from adding new features to improving the game as we know it, by making stuff like youth scouting, transfers, player values and wages, simulation, player growth, sacking, board objectives, GTN scouting, morale, form, release clauses, and everything else much more realistic. There are also add-ons to add hundreds of tattoos, update regen faces, add new boots, new camera and turf, 50 new national teams, and the missing champions and Europa League teams. You can even add mods that change the menu. There's also a graphics mod, which updates many kits, including national teams, and adds real goalkeeper kits. It also added so many more graphics, including adding real banners and flags and ad boards and trophies, logos, etc., and not to mention gameplay mods, which fundamentally changed the gameplay to make it more fun and realistic, and even fix big issues like midfielders not tracking back. There are even mods to give you a full tournament experience. And what if I told you that all of the things I just said are in one huge mod? Yeah, just one mod. Super easy to install, just takes 5 minutes using a super easy to use and powerful mod manager. And it's all customizable, so if you don't want the tattoos or the menu or the regen faces or the boots, you can just disable them, so you can toggle what you want and toggle what you don't want. And the best part is that it's free. Yes, there's a Patreon to get some perks like beta testing or early access and to support the mod, but it's free, you don't have to pay. And you may have known all that, but that's not all. You can create your own mods, create your own team, create a new face, update your team kits during a career, which can now be done super easily using FIFA Kit Creator. Not to mention, mods will be able to take Create Club to the next level. There are also tools that let you customize your players, edit their appearances, names, stats, etc. You can edit your stadium, change your transfer budget, transfer players to any team you want, customize your youth academy, become unsackable, play for more than 15 seasons. The sky is truly the limit with modding. And yeah, all of that can be done for free. If you have never used mods on FIFA before, you can easily try them out before committing to FIFA 22 on PC. Because FIFA 21 on PC is available for about $20 on CD keys, and my Realism mod is free. I'll link a video in the description on how you can install it. Soon I'll make a video with my exact plans for FIFA 22, including timelines for mods. But basically, I think mods will be available super fast after the release of FIFA 22. And about the FIFA 22 Reels mod, I think it's going to be 10 times better than it is now. There's going to be more and better content. Many things like gameplay will be redesigned and will be so much better than the FIFA 21 mod. Things will be simpler and easier to use, new mods will be added, it will be faster and better, all of it. I'm so excited for the future. In FIFA 22, there will also be more unlicensed teams, not just Juventus and Roma. EA also lost the license to Atalanta and Lazio, which makes Serie A almost unplayable. And of course, the only way to get these teams back with their full names and kits and stuff like that is using mods. So it's your choice. Buy FIFA 22 on PS5 or Xbox Series S and get slightly better graphic quality and a few new cutscenes. Or FIFA 22 on PC with mods, where you can overhaul the game in a few minutes by licensing teams, adding new content like faces, kits, tattoos, banners, and making career mode truly fun by overhauling transfers, player growth, youth scouting, and much more. Plus, you have a ton of customization. And hey, what's the point of those new cutscenes if you still have Piemonte Calcio and players like Pedri without real faces? And we already know gameplay and career mode won't be perfect at launch, but mods can change that. If you do want to buy FIFA 22 and you haven't already, I highly recommend you use the link in the description. CD Keys currently has a bit of a sale on FIFA 22, bringing the price down a bit, and it's totally reliable and safe. It has thousands of positive reviews and great support. The key you get works for all regions, and it's for Origin, which surprisingly is the best platform to buy FIFA 22 on, as Steam just overcomplicates things because you still need Origin, and EA Desktop just isn't complete enough. And the best part is that link is an affiliate link, so by using it you will help support the mod, and the money will go to stuff like being able to mod FIFA 22 faster, as well as new content like faces and kits. I've heard some talk about people buying the game on Stadia recently because you can run Stadia on PC. However, you cannot use mods on Stadia because it runs the game from the cloud, so I definitely do not recommend buying it on Stadia because you can't use mods. So yeah, if you want to use mods, you have to buy it on PC proper. That means getting it from a website like CD Keys, or buying it directly from Origin, Steam, or EA Desktop, or getting EA Play. And finally, I will link the Realism mod Patreon in the description below. If you have any spare cash or anything, it is highly appreciated to go and become a patron there. You can get some cool rewards like early access to mods, beta testing, alpha testing, priority help, stuff like that. But now more than ever, with the release of FIFA 22 being in a week or so, the funds are needed more than ever to help develop the tool to make us mod, as well as content, faces, kits, graphics, as well as non-graphical stuff. So yeah, it's hugely appreciated. If you want, there's a 10% yearly discount. But yeah, It's totally optional, of course, because the mod is free, and even just by downloading the mod, watching this video, subscribing to the channel, you are a huge help. So yeah, thanks you guys so much. But hey, that's just my take on it. Let me know if you agree or disagree, and anything else you have to say on the matter. And thank you so much for watching this video. I know it's not the type of video I usually make, but I hope you still enjoyed it, and I hope to make some other videos like this in the future too. So make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications if you haven't already. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
I've been running out of time, think I need a rewind, feeling out of life. Put everything aside, hoping that I make it right, all the things I do for you.